Hi everyone and welcome to your channel. In this video we are going to have a look at this new tool called as Archon. Archon is pretty interesting in a sense that it deals with a real world problem. New techniques are improving all of these LLMs, but it is still unclear how to best combine these techniques. To solve this, these researchers have created Archon, which is a tool that automatically designs and optimizes how LLMs work together. Archon tested various combinations and outperformed top models like GPT-4 and Claude 3.5 on several benchmarks, improving performance by up to 14%. The way it works is quite simple. Archon works by taking in a config file in JSON format that specifies the architecture you want to run and its available parameters. For example, say I want to ask a GPT-4o model a question and output a single response. So what they did, what they want to sample GPT-4o 10 times, rank the top 5 responses and then fuse for a final response. So that makes the final answer quite grounded and of really good quality. And that is what we are going to do. We are going to install this Archon on our free Google Colab, and then we will see how it works. Also, if you are interested in learning more about Archon, I will drop the link to the repo in video description. They have a very good paper written, and you can read further through it by just looking at this diagram where you can see um, the thing which I just described in simple words is happening. They are taking all of these, and there is a fuser, ranker, and all that stuff with LLMs, and then the input is passing through few phases and providing an optimized output. That is all there is to it, and you can read through the paper to go into the nitty-gritty of all of these terminologies here if you're interested. But let's go to our Google Colab and get this installed. Another cool thing is that you can simply install it with pip, so it is available on PyPy. So let me run it. It's a simple pip command where you just need to install Archon AI. Also, you can, if you are just looking for the open source and more compatibility and flexibility, you can simply go and clone their repo and then install it from the source. But I'm just going to show you how it works, and for that I think this PyPy is more than enough. Let's wait for this to get installed. It's not that heavy, so it shouldn't take too long. As you can see that it is progressing well at the moment. Also, I will be using OpenAI model for it, and for that you know that it is not a free option. You would need to go to platform.openai.com and grab the API key from there. That is a paid option. Okay, so it is installed. Now in order to run it, all you need to do is to run this. Maybe I'll just restart the runtime one. So I'll just say restart session so that it will take effect. Let's click on this to import Archon. Let's wait for it. And that is done. Next up, we need to specify our OpenAI's API key. The best way of doing it is to just click on this key icon on the left hand side and then scroll down. Just click on add new secret, and then you can create a secret like this where I have specified this OpenAI's API key, and I'm just going to enable it. I already have it saved. So let me go back. Let's add a new cell just to import OS here, and then grab your API key from those Google Colab secret, and I'm just storing it in my environment. So let me run it. Okay, so my key is set now. Let me now show you how Archon works. So, and don't worry about these commands, you can access it from the repo, to which I will drop the link in video's description. Okay, so if you look here, what is happening, we have specified single GPT config where we are just giving it one GPT-4o single, and then we are specifying some of the hyperparameters like what would be the temperature, which determines the randomness of the response. The value is between 0 and 1. The lower the value, the more deterministic or the more constant the answer will be. The higher the value is, the answer will be more creative. So 0.7 is quite high towards 1. So it is the response of the LLM will be quite creative. And then we are specifying how many max tokens it can produce, and we are just specifying this nuclear probabilities where top k that it just samples the output, and this is our model type. So this is for single GPU. For the Archon GPU, we need to specify multiple things. So Archon is just taking this GPT multimodal using GPT-4o. By the way, you can use different one if you like. And so generating the response, ranking it, and as I mentioned, because it generates 10 responses, it ranks the top 5 like we are doing here, and then it fuses them. This is a fuser, and give us the response back. So that is what it is doing. Let's define this config, and the config is defined as you can see with this tick box. Let's go and initialize this Archon. The command is quite simple, where we are installing, where we initializing both single GPT and Archon GPT with the config which we have just defined. And you can see that model and models have been initialized with the config of Archon. And now let's generate the output. So let's set the testing instruction or our prompt. So for example, I'm just asking it write a summary of the book, The Five Dysfunction of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. So let's run it. That is done. And now let's generate the responses. So in order to generate the response, let me run both single one and Archon one. So this is going to print the single GPT response, and this is going to print the Archon GPT response, and then we will compare which one is better. So let's wait for it to come back. And of course, as I mentioned, this is a paid option, so keep an eye on your OpenAI GPT credit. While this runs, let me introduce you to the sponsors of the video. So this video is sponsored by AgentQL, which is an AI-powered query language for getting structured data from live web pages. AgentQL turns any web page into a data source, and with its Python SDK and live debugging tool, you can scrape and interact with web content. AgentQL works on any page, it is resilient, it is reusable, and it structures output according to the shape of your query. It uses the power of AI to analyze the page structure to find the data you are looking for. So do check them out. Their link is also in the video's description. Okay, let's go back and check it out. It is still running and using my credits like crazy. Anyway, so single GPT query. So you look at this. This is a single GPT query. And then if you look here, this is a multi GPU one. So if you quickly go here, you will see that yes, they have gone through it, and both of them look good because it is a magic of GPT-4o. But if you quickly read through it, this other response is quite grounded, and it is of a better quality. So the real beauty of this Archon would shine when you have very complex stuff. For example, you are writing something, you want this to analyze, and you want it of utmost quality. So Archon brings in that quality where it fuses the top responses and return you the final result. So fairly interesting. I'm very keen to see this project or any similar project working with the local models, because we all know that using all of these models and then doing these API calls, it is quite expensive. And I just checked on my OpenAI's dashboard, for example, just running this has cost me around $1. So which is just a simple prompt summarizing a book, and it was quite expensive. So you can imagine. So really would be good to see it working with local models through Olama, LM Studio, or any other llama.cpp or any other platform, but local models are the way to go for this sort of tooling. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what do you think. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, please do me a favor and share it among your network, as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching.